Okay, here we go. It's done. I've got like 29 different entries. Hi, I'm hanging out in Florida. It's kind of a rainy day. I'm outside of a supermarket, and here we go. You ready? Here we go. Come on, everybody. Noah and Jay and everybody. All right. The Book of Acts. The red letters in the Book of Acts. Number 1. Chapter 1, verse 2 to 4. Don't do anything. First, wait for power. 2. Chapter 1, verse 7. You will be like me in the whole world. Number 3. Acts chapter 1, verse 11. Angels say, Jesus is coming back in the same amazing way that he just took off. 4. Acts chapter 4, verse 29 to 31. Ask for power, God gives power. This is a really good passage. These people they've already gotten the power of the Holy Spirit. They were baptized in the Holy Spirit, but they're under a lot of stress and people are messing around with them. And they actually have to ask for power. Again, to be bold and courageous, and God gives them power. So we have to regularly ask for power. Okay, number 5. Chapter 5, verse 19. An angel got them out of prison. Then they went to the temple. The angel said, go to the public and tell the people. The whole story is chapter 5, verse 17 to 42. This is an amazing story. These guys people just like us are thrown in prison. An angel got them out of prison. They're going into the public to tell people the truth. And then the government people discover that they're not in the prison where they were put. It's a really neat story. Crazy story of what the Holy Spirit can do. Amazing. 5. 6. Acts chapter 7, verse 30. Moses and the burning bush is mentioned again. This is where God talks to us. God's talking to Moses through the burning bush. That's mentioned in Acts chapter 7. Number 7, Acts chapter 7, verse 48. God does not live in temples built by human hands. Number 8, Acts 8, verse 14 to 17. They heard, they went, and they received the Holy Spirit. This is when the apostles went all the way up to Samaria to lay hands on the people, and they got the Holy Spirit. This isn't actually an angel or Holy Spirit speaking, but this is a really cool place because the Holy Spirit was received. Number 9, chapter 8, verse 26. An angel says, get ready and go south. And then Philip met a person. And then number 10 is 8:39. The Spirit took Philip away. That's really wild. The Spirit took Philip away. Okay, here we go. Number 11. The Paul story. His conversion story. First time. There's 3 places in the book of Acts where his story is told. And that means you have a testimony and you're going to have to tell your story over and over and over and over again. Acts chapter 9, verse 5. Following through to verse 11 and verse 13, verse 15. Get up and go. Get ready and go. Somebody complains and worries, and then God says, go because blah, 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 blah. So this is a conversation where the Holy Spirit's speaking. Number 12, chapter 10, verse 3. An angel shows up to Cornelius. He's not even a Jew. And the angel says, God is pleased. Go somewhere, meet somebody. Number 13, chapter 10, verse 9 to 18. Peter on the rooftop. He has a trance vision in the middle of the day. He has this vision in the middle of the day. 14, chapter 10, verse 19. The Spirit said, go with them. These guys showed up at the door. The Spirit said, go with them. Number 15. Repeating the same story of Cornelius hearing from an angel and God getting a trance vision. Telling this, when wild stuff happens to you from the Holy Spirit, you got to get used to telling the story over and over and over again. Okay, chapter 10, verse 30 to 33, repeating the story again to other people, the other disciples. He's telling the stories to the other disciples. Number 17, chapter 11, verse 7 to 17. Peter tells his story again. Number 18, Acts chapter 12, verse 7 to 10. Peter gets out of jail from an angel. This is totally wild. It's really amazing. Number 19, chapter 12, verse 17. Peter tells the story again. Okay, number 20, chapter 13, verse 1 and 2. Barnabas and Saul separate for us. They're ministering to God, and the Holy Spirit says to them all, separate Barnabas and Saul and send them out. Send them out. Send them, let them go. Number 21, chapter 13, verse 9 to 12. Ooh, I don't know what that one is. Sorry. I didn't write down a note on that one. Okay. 13. Oh, wait a minute. 21. 21. Okay. When we get to Acts chapter 13, verse 16 to 41. Noah, read that. Get practice reading this declaration. This is an important story. Speak this out loud. Read it out loud. Pretend you're talking to a crowd of people. Get used to being bold and declaring things. Read Acts 13, verse 16 to 41. That's for Noah. Okay, number 21, chapter 14, verse 3. God proved that they are making a true message by giving power for miracles and wonders. So God gave them power to show that their message was real and to make people amazed. Come on, give us power so people can see that what we got. Number 22, chapter 15, verse 28. It seemed good to the Holy Spirit and to us. This is the Jerusalem Council, where the 12 disciples got together and they're asking about the whole circumcision thing and the rules of the Jews. And they said, it seemed good to the Holy Spirit and to us, which is a really neat way of putting things. They're sitting there and saying, Holy Spirit, do you like this? Do you like that? They're asking the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit gave them a confirmation. Okay, 23, chapter 16, verse 7 to 10. The Spirit of Jesus did not allow them to go to a certain location. The Spirit of Jesus did not allow them. Okay, number 24. Acts chapter 16, verse 16. An evil spirit is on a woman, and that spirit speaks. That spirit says stuff. Okay, next. Number 25. Chapter 16, verse 26. There's a violent earthquake, and it makes something happen. That's a Holy Spirit earthquake. Number 26. Acts chapter 18, verse 9. Stay here. Don't go anywhere. Stay here. There's a lot of people you got to talk to. It's all these things that the Holy Spirit and the angels will say to us. Everything just like this. Number 27, Acts chapter 19, verse 6. Paul laid hands and they spoke in tongues and prophesied. Now, this is not the Holy Spirit or an angel speaking, but this is like a heavenly activity from the Holy Spirit thing that's pretty powerful. Okay, number 28. Acts chapter 19, verse 15. An evil spirit says, I know Jesus, I know Paul, but who are you? This is another voice of an evil spirit. Chapter 29. Number 29. Chapter 20, verse 23. The Holy Spirit warns me about prison and troubles that wait for me. Paul is being told by the Holy Spirit that he's going to have a lot of difficulties. And he's going to continue to declare the good news about the grace of God. And he declares that he worked hard with his own hands to provide everything. Number 30. Acts 21, verse 4. They told Paul by the power of the Holy Spirit not to go to Jerusalem. Number 31. Chapter 21, verse 10 and 11. The prophet Agabus gives a warning to Paul. 32. This is Paul's conversion story, his testimony one more time. This is number 2. That's the second time Paul's story with red letters in it are in the book of Acts. Number 33, chapter 22, verse 17 to 21. Leave this city. They will not accept you. Get out of the city. Go. Leave this place. You're in danger. Number 34. Acts chapter 23, verse 11. The Lord stood by Paul. Wow. The Lord stood by Paul and said, do not be afraid. Wow. Okay, here's another one. Number 35, another Noah speech. Look up chapter 24, verse 10, and read that whole thing. Read it out loud. Get used to making that declaration. This is the proofs. This is the commentary. This is the talk that you need to learn how to talk. Read this out loud and pretend you're talking to a bunch of people. Number 36. Acts chapter 26, verse 9. Paul's story. Number 3. That's the third time the red letters around Paul's conversion is in the book of Acts. Number 27. Okay. Acts chapter 27, verse 22 to 24. An angel of the Lord said, don't be afraid, take courage. Don't be afraid, take courage. And that's the whole thing. 37 different points. Look them up, read them. This is a PowerPoint. This helps people understand how God's going to talk to them. Yippee!